Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful shorts with an elastic waistband. If you're new to my channel, please hit on the subscribe button below and subscribe, like and share this video, and turn on the notification bell so as to be notified each time I upload new video. Thank you. Okay guys, so I'm going to be cutting this on the pattern paper. I've already started drafting on the material, but I noticed it was not clear, so I had to use pattern paper. Exactly what I draw on my pattern paper is exactly what I had on this material. So you can use your Ankara directly. Okay, you can use your Ankara directly. If you can draft directly on your Ankara or any fabric you're working with. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing I am making, but I noticed it was not clear, so I had to use pattern paper so that you guys will see what I am marking. Okay, so what I did first of all was to mark out 1 inch on the side. Okay, 1 inch on the side, and I minus have 2 inches for my band. I'll be using band for this, and this is 9 inch my hip line. This is my crotch line, 10.5 for my crotch, and this is 18 inches for my length and 22 inches for my allowance. Okay, so it's 20 inches the length I'm working with. 18 inches is the length plus 2 inches for folding allowance. That makes it 20. So what I'm going to mark first of all here is my hip circumference divided by 4. I marked it on the crotch line, and here I'm marking it on the hip line, and also the same thing on the waistline, because this is an elastic waistband short. You don't need your waist circumference for this pants, for this short. Okay, so I'm going to connect it upward, and then next I'm going to extend my crotch. So to get your crotch extension, you divide quarter of your hip divide by 4. So the quarter of my hip is 10.75, divided by 4 is 2.68 or so, but I'll be marking 2.5 here. I'll be using 2.5 here as my crotch extension. Then to curve this, you can either come in by 1 inch like this, or you just use your curve ruler and curve. Okay, so I just use my curve ruler and curve. But if you don't have a curve ruler, all you need to do is to get your tape and go in by 1 inch. As you can see, this is exactly 1 inch, and then you curve. Okay, you mark 1 inch and then you curve. It will help you to curve your crotch properly, right? So the next I'm going to do is to get the middle of my crotch line like this. I'll measure this crotch line. Whatever I have, I'll divide it by 2. Okay, divide it by 2, and I'm going to mark half of it like this on the crotch line and on the hip line, also on the thigh line. Okay, I did not mark out my thigh. I don't need it on my waistline. So to get your thigh line, from the crotch line you mark 3 inches. From the crotch line you mark 3 inches downward like this, and that will serve as your thigh line. Okay, so I'll mark, this is the thigh line, so I'll mark the same thing. I marked half of the crotch here. This is just to enable me get a straight line. So half of the crotch line is what I am marking here. So I'm going to take it upward to get a straight line. Okay, hope you understand what I did here. So my thigh is 26 divided by 2 is 13. 13 divided by 2 will give me 6.5. So I'll mark 6.5 here. I'll also mark the same 6.5 on this side. I'll mark 6.5 here also, and also mark 6.5 here too, and at this side I also mark the same 6.5. Okay, so this is to enable me get a straight short. I'm making a straight short, and the short is the same thing as, I'm using the tie for it because it stops at the tie. So I'll connect the marks up to the crotch line like this. Okay, connect towards the crotch line like this. And I'll also connect this one towards the crotch too, like this, and the short is ready. Now I'm going to cut this out. So you may be wondering why I did not use my knee allowance. The short is very close to my nail, but I don't want to use a nail measurement here because I want it to be free. So I'm not making a pencil short, so I want it to be free at the down part. That's why I did not use my nail allowance, measurement here. Okay, I did not use my nail measurement on the length because I want it to be free. If not, I would have used my knee measurement. So in case you want yours pencil, you just take your nail measurement there instead of the tie, but I took the tie because I want it straight and free. So now I'm going to cut this. I'm going to use it and trace it out on my what is it called, Ankara. As you can see, it's exactly the same thing I measured here. Okay, it's exactly the same thing, and I added half-inch sewing allowance. As you can see already, I added half-inch sewing allowance to the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to pin this down and I'll just trace it out. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the half-inch allowance I added already. So I'll just pin this down to trace it out. Okay, so I'm trying to pin it and I'll be cutting. So the essence of leaving 1 inch at the side is to add your half-inch seam allowance. Okay, so but I did not add it to the pattern anymore. I decided to add it to the Ankara. But if you're using your Ankara to cut, you mark 1 inch at the side first, which will serve as your starting line so that you can be able to add half-inch sewing allowance to it. Okay, and sorry guys, I did not tell you how I folded it. You fold with your highest measurement, which is your hip, plus extra 4-inch allowance. Okay, highest circumference, which is your hip, plus extra 4-inch allowance. So to cut the back, I'm going to place the front panel on the back. Okay, you place the front panel on the back like this, and then you secure it with your pin. Okay, the back is also on fold though. It's 2 pieces that I'm cutting for the back, 2 pieces for the front and 2 pieces for the back. You fold the back also into 2. Okay, and then make sure you have excess when you're folding. All right, so I have like extra 3 inches to the back also. I added extra 3 inches to the back. Okay, so here I'm going to add on the crotch, I'm going to add extra 2 inch. I'll add 2 inch of the crotch here, and I'll add 1 inch to this side, 1 inch, 1 inch, and this side also 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. Okay, and I will connect. Okay, so this is the 1 inch I added, and I'll curve it towards the 2 inches I added at the crotch. So this is the crotch line, 2 inch, and I'm going to curve this part also. You can use your free hand or you use your curve. Okay, you just curve it out. Okay, this is the 1 inch I added this part to. Okay, 1 inch. Here is 2 inches. Here is 1 inch. Okay, so at the top here, I'm going to go up by 1 inch here, and I'll connect it to the waist, to the side seam make sure the side is equal. Only at the top center there is going to be higher by 1 inch, but make sure that the sides are equal. Okay, sorry guys, I did not know that where I'm marking is not showing. So what I'm doing there is I am marking 1/2 inch on the side. I marked 1/2 inch seam allowance on the side and I am cutting it out now. I did not know that it was not showing when I was marking. Sorry guys, but I added 1/2 inch on the side. Okay, I marked 1/2 inch for seam allowance on the side. Remember, I used 1 inch inside here on the inseam here. I used 1 inch this side, but for the side I marked 1/2 inch from the waist down to the full length. Okay, as you can see it, I have extra 1/2 inch for the back side for seam allowance. Okay, and we are through with the cutting. Now we are going to join them together. Okay, so as you can see, this is the 1/2 inch I added, right? So I'm going to join the front panel, right sides facing each other like this, and I will join the crotch sides together using 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'll do the same on the back panel too. So here I'm done joining the crotch together. As you can see, I joined with 1/2 inch seam allowance. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to join the front and the back together now. So I open up one of them. So I'm going to join them right side facing the right side of each other like this, and I'll join at the inseam, the crotch side, the inside of it. So I'm going to sew down and also sew from here down also on the inside, right? I'm going to do that, and I'll fold the down part. I'll fold the hem after doing that, and I'll show you guys. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've joined the inside crotch with 1/2 inch, and I folded my hem, okay, with the allowance I added. I first of all folded in 1/2 inch, and then I folded in 1 inch, as you can see that. And now I'm going to join the side with 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to join the side with 1 inch sewing allowance. Okay, I'm going to join the side with 1 inch sewing allowance, and I'll be back. Then we'll add the band. So guys, I'm done joining them together. I'm done shaping my pants, and now we are going to add the bands to it. So remember, we minused 2 inches for our band. Okay, so to cut your band, you measure round your waist, round the waist of this short, and then the band width is 5 inches wide. I'll be using 1/2 inch on both sides to join it to the short, and the length is round of the waist of this short plus extra 4 inches. Okay, so what you're going to do is to fold the band into 2 and notch the midpoint, and then you're going to place the midpoint on the front center crotch or at the back crotch, anywhere you like to start sewing. So here I started from the front. I placed the midpoint of the band on the front crotch, and I placed the band right side facing the wrong side of the short. Okay, and I sew from here down to this edge, and from here also down to this point. Okay, and what is left, I joined it together. I measured what is left and I joined together. So now I'm going to shape it. I'll cut out the excess, and I'll cut out the excess like this, and I will go to the machine and close it up. I hope you understand what I did. And after that, I folded in 1/2 inch inside of one part of my band. Okay, we're going to top stitch on the right side like this. I folded in 1/2 inch, as you can see. I folded in 1/2 inch. That's the service side. I folded in 1/2 inch, so I'm going to fold it and top stitch on the right side of the short, and that is all. Okay, and here is our short is ready, and I left extra 2 inches where I'm going to pass the elastic inside. I'm going to pass the elastic from here, so I left like 2 inches here for the elastic, and this is the elastic I'm using. I'm using a 1.5 inch elastic, okay, and that is why I used 2 inches as my band. If you're using a 1 inch elastic, you can use 1.5 for your band. Okay, so I'm using our 2 inches, 1.5 inch elastic, and that is why I leave half inch, 2 inch. I used 2 inch for my band. Okay, so I'm going to pass it around, and I'm going to close it up like this, but I'm going to pass it around inside first of all. So for the waist, for the elastic length, just take it around your waist and then you cut. Okay, or you minus 3 inches from your waist and then you cut from your waist circumference, minus 3 inches from the round of your waist, and then you cut. Okay, so I'm pushing the elastic inside now. I'm trying to pass it in. Okay, so, and this is it. After you are through, what you're going to do next is to hold this together. Excuse me. Like this, you sew, or you lap it, you overlap it on each other like this and sew on it, and then you close up the rough edge, and that is all, guys. And this is the final look of our shorts. Thank you guys for watching. Like and share this video, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. See you in my next tutorial, and if you like to see the top tutorial, I'm going to upload it next. Bye.